Good morning. It's still morning, yes. Happy, there we go. Happy Monday, or whatever day that you're watching this. You know, when you have one of those days where you're like, I got time. And then time ends up being faster than you expect it to be. Alright. There we go. Alrighty. Whew. Okay, so first and foremost, I wanted to thank everybody that reached out, because I know last time I was talking about my brain was going through and trying to tell the story about what they call it, rejection sensitivity dysphoria. And so I could feel it happening, and my brain was going, oh my God, there's nobody watching, and yeah, I want to thank everybody who reached out and let me know that they were watching. That was not my point, but I do so greatly appreciate each and every one of you for letting me know. So whether in person or through this marvelous internet or what have you, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. The stories our brains tell, right? Well, I have to tell you, I had just such a marvelous weekend. We had our first sleepover, which we did get some sleep, but we did a lot of work with it, and we, using everything that we did on a normal day, would have been amazing. But then using that, sorry, I'm still trying to adjust. Okay, but then using the energy from the Lionsgate was really, I mean, like, I still am feeling like my body is recalibrating. I'm just going to use that word, recalibrating. And, you know, the gate's still open, I'm sure, for a couple more days. I know it was opening for a week or two, easy, just feeling the energy from it. So, and then the Schumann's has been bonkers. I haven't looked at it much today. Well, I haven't looked at it at all today. I haven't looked at it much of the last couple of days. But when I have looked at it, whew, like we're having these great big huge spikes that are lasting for quite a while. And then it goes black because machines are on overload and they're like, nope, done. And then it comes back on and then they're white again and then it pops back off. And so a lot is going on right now. And everything that happened this weekend, I've been like, ooh, I want to tell that. Ooh, I want to talk about that for Monday. Ooh, I want to talk about that for Monday. So we'll see what we get through. That's why I didn't put any kind of title today, because we'll see what happens, what comes up, and where we go. So, let's start with this. And this may be something I end up doing a little something shorter on, so I can post it elsewhere. But one of the things that came up, so I did a podcast with the lovely Claudia and Kelsey. And Kelsey reminded me, it's been a while since we've done it, that one of my first Magical Mondays, we called them Mantra Mondays back then, but one of the, might have been the very first one, was the I love you. You know, sometimes we make things so difficult wanting to learn all the Sanskrit, and not that Sanskrit isn't amazing, and when you can learn those and you can just repeat, because Sanskrit is a really powerful language, and one of the oldest languages, that sometimes we get caught up in it, and then we trip over, and then we don't want to do them, and so on and so forth. So really saying I love you for 108 times, really, really powerful. And like I said, I think I'm going to do another one of those one day soon. just so we can get it out there. But if you would like to get your mala beads, go check out, I know the title of it says I Love You, go check it out on the link below. That'll take you right over to all of the videos that we have done. Just be kind. Remember, that was the beginning. But to do that, oh my goodness, that vibration that starts rattling inside of you. And so, hold on. And deciding how much I want to put out and what I want to say. How about this? You know, there has been a lot of pulling people apart, right? We spent 2020 being afraid of being around other people, isolating. And then as the time has gone, you don't believe in the exact same way that I do, then you have to be wrong and we can't be friends. And there's a lot of hurt, and there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of division. Thank you. And I know it's easy to get caught up in all of that. And we want to heal, and we want to transform, and we want to see the world change. Anger and hate and division is never going to help heal that. It's never going to make things, let's say, better. So, when we can go into that place of love, when we choose love, when we choose self-love, when we choose and say, I choose love, then things have already started to change. Yes. One of the things we had talked about, I don't know, it's been a couple of events ago, a couple of weeks ago, that sometimes it's just one cell that needs to change, right? Just one little spot in our hearts and in our bodies, maybe, that chooses love, accepts love. And when we can fill the world with love, and that can be our world, our homes, our friendships, our relationships, then we start to see things change. But it's got to start here, right? So, I guess that's my little service announcement today. I wasn't exactly where I was expecting to go with that, but it's always a good reminder. So, on that note, so a couple of notes. So, we've had the whole cancellation of Sage. Now I hear that there is debate about Florida water. So choose what works for you. Okay? Because we need to clear the energy. We need to clear our energy, and we need to be mindful about it. So if you don't feel comfortable using sage, perfectly fine. If you don't feel comfortable using Palo Santo, perfectly fine. I haven't heard the discussion yet about Florida water, but if that's something that you feel strongly or not strongly about, whichever way that goes, wash your hands. Make ritual out of washing hands and clearing your energy. It just was, I can't remember where I heard it, but it's something I know Danielle and I have talked about before, is about using washing your hands as ceremony. I release and let go of this argument. I release and let go of this story. Wash your hands. Send it all into the bubbles and let it go. It's really about being intentional. Yes, there's properties with white sage and Palo Santo and all of that helps release it on maybe a deeper level, a different level. But it's still about the intention, the ritual, and letting it go. You gotta let it go, right? And if something like sage helps, we have, yes, we still have some, I call it prosperity soap at Trinity, and it's salt, sea salt, cinnamon, I think that may be orange. So the sea salt helps to wash things away, the cinnamon does, and the orange helps bring in prosperity. So find what works for you. Make it a ritual. Let it all go. Yeah. Just do what you need to. Okay. Second thing, and I promise this will be a little lighter, I hope. So one of the things that we did for the Lionsgate was that we released and let go. And then one of the activities after midnight, when the gate was open and at its highest, was choosing. We did a little graph. I can't remember what the graphs are called. I know we did them in school. But in the middle, we had our little oval, and it says, I choose, and what we chose. And so for me personally, it was, I choose success. I was literally, figuratively, all of it, choosing. That was my intention, was to choose it. Now, I've been doing a lot of things that were meant to help me bring in, doing mantras, doing all affirmations, doing all of those things. But it dawned on me that I never truly chose it. And success in so many different ways. I mean, yes, I want Trinity to be very successful. The more success Trinity has, the more people we can help, and so on and so forth. You got the itchies? Sorry, the camera's shaking. Yeah, yes. Got the itchies. She's letting stuff go, right? But also, one of the things I wrote was, I choose success with ease. So today, and health and wealth and some of these other things, but today I got up, I went and took a walk, because usually, there's all these stories and things about, I got to do this and I got to do that, and, maybe I ran out of a little bit of time, but I'm still here at 11:30, and I just went and took my walk. And I took a little longer walk, and then my body started going, and I'm like, okay. We'll finish our normal route. And it was during this walk that I was like, wow, I just got up and did it. There was no hemming and hawing, there was no stories, there was no nothing. It was, I need to take a walk. So I went and did it. And so I really believe that that's part of that success, choosing success with ease and health. I find that my body is now craving more healthy things. Like the things that I typically reach for, I'm like, I don't know if I want that. Please don't bite. And so, been doing some of the other things that I needed to do to get things done, and it's just happening. So, when I talk about choosing love, I mean truly choose love. And if you need to do that little, it's not a Venn diagram. Can't remember. Well, you could do a Venn diagram, I guess. It's a different kind. The one we did was a different kind, where we had like our thing in the middle, and then shooting off of it all the things we wanted, for me personally, success with. But what does love look like for you? And are you truly choosing it? And are we walking in it, talking with it? And are we going to always 100% be love? That's the goal, right? Or to be in joy, or to be in happiness, and that doesn't mean that we go, oh, I can't look at that because that's not love. No. Ooh, there's a trigger. Because I think we talked about this a while ago, that when we choose things like that, sometimes we get challenges. Sometimes we get the whole like, oop, look, there you're not being loved. Yep. So that doesn't mean that triggers are bad, right? Triggers are not our enemy. Triggers can really be helpful on our spiritual travels. I like that. On our spiritual journey. Because there are places that are going, you might want to look at this. Or there are hurts that are really crying out. I found that my brain, which is a typical ADHD thing from what I'm understanding, but my brain loves to make up stories. It likes to rehearse conversations I'm never going to have. And all of these things. And I have decided now that when that comes up, my brain is craving creativity. And so, yeah, hold on. Okay, so on top of being successful, one of the micro things I said I would do is I'm going to be working on my book, because this thing has been almost 10 years in process, and it's not that it's not getting done, it's just not getting done. The story's written, the illustrations, I'm going to have to do some expanding on my illustrations, but it's been just ready, I've just been stuck. And so one of the things that I released was a fear of success and also the fear of failure. So here I am succeeding, and then, oh my God, I'm going to fail. Or what happens if I keep succeeding? And then, it just gets stuck. Like, I get that freeze. And I can't decide what to do, where to go, how to do it. So that was one of the things that I really worked on releasing this weekend. And so the book has just been starting to come together. One of the things I'm going to go do when we're done here is I got to take the illustrations I have over and get them photocopied. Because, well, there's just been a lot of things that have come up when it comes to these. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. And I'm going to make sure that, if not today, this week, that they're going to all get put where they need to go. And work on the other ones that I need. And I just can't believe how simple it is coming. It's coming with ease, right? So, what do you choose? What do you choose in this moment? And what does that mean? And how does that look for you? Something that Eric and I have talked a lot about is winning the lottery. Like, what would we do if we won the lottery? Sorry, when we win the lottery, and we have all that money. And so one of the things is that it gives freedom, right? So my brain goes, well, where do we have freedom? Where are other places we have freedom? Yes, thank you, Michelle. Michelle says she's working on choosing herself. And I love that. And again, it can be like, what are some little things that you do? Call them micro actions, right? What are some little things that you do every day that chooses you? One of the things that Claudia, Kelsey, and I got talking about is, why do we make things so hard? Why do we make our spiritual journey so flippin' hard? And my first answer was, well, because we're human, right? We like to make things difficult. Also things that we've been taught through Hollywood and religion and school and this and that, and if it's easy, it's probably not worth it, and so on and so forth. But sometimes when we have this huge thing like success, oh my gosh, what does that mean? What does that look like? It's all about the baby steps. It's all about those micro actions. So what's something, again, you can do, the little thing today that you could do for choosing yourself? Or for me, having success with my health was going for that walk. Making sure that I drink my water. I go to the grocery and I probably could use some more fruits and veggies. Fruits are not... Anyways. But those kinds of things. So make it simple. Make it little. Set your alarm. If it's about being more spiritual, what do you do first thing in the morning? I don't know about you, but I usually pick up my phone and turn my alarm off. Ooh, and there's a message. Ooh, who texted me? I need to look at who's texting me. Oh my gosh, there's an email I gotta look at. And somehow, some way, I always find myself on Facebook, TikTok, any of those other ones. And now an hour's gone by. So, one thing we talked about this weekend... Hi, Kitty. Thank you. One thing we talked about this weekend was going back to an actual alarm clock and putting our phones somewhere else so that we have to make that effort. And so if your phone is somewhere else that you can't just reach for it, can the first thing you do in the morning after your alarm clock goes off is take a couple of breaths? Maybe have a gratitude mantra you say. And sometimes that could just be thank you. Or start looking at what you want your day to look like. And one of the things, too, before bed, instead of sitting and doom scrolling and kind of checking out, is what do you want your tomorrow to look like? So if you go to bed with your brain thinking about all the wonderful things that you want to happen or that are happening tomorrow, it can help shift your dreams. It can help shift how you wake up in the morning. And again, something really small. And usually, try and make that the last thing that you think about. And if your brain gets stuck, because sometimes it likes to tell those stories that, oh, that can't happen, that's not going to happen, Find a mantra you can repeat. In the very, very beginning, before I think I even really knew about mantras or what they were, I was having a lot of trouble with my brain just berating me. Or the stories that were being told, and I just was not sleeping. And so I would do the Lord's Prayer, because that's what I knew. And I'd just repeat it, and repeat it, and repeat it, and if I fell asleep and I woke back up, I'd just start repeating it again. So find something that's simple like that, or that has become so rote, that is not going to overstimulate. Right? We don't want to have a song that's really rocking and rolling. But that your brain can just hold on to and keeps it occupied so that you can fall asleep. Like, wow, that was a whole lot of round the circle of stuff. Whew, okay. So, and even this is a little ritual, okay? And this is choosing yourself too. So, if in this moment you choose love, find those places that are not love, If you're looking for choosing your success, where are those places that are holding you back? If you choose freedom, what are those places that have you anchored to the ground? What are those stories? And it's really about looking at those. And are they yours? We found several things this weekend, those stories, and we heard them in other people's words or voices that weren't ours. We just took them on. Oh, nope, not mine. So, if you have any of those that are coming up in this moment, any heaviness, anything that's holding you back, keeping you anchored. It's good to be grounded, but not anchored to the ground. That's keeping you from flying and soaring. Excuse me. And if you live in the area, put down your phones, look up. I've seen a bald eagle flying over my neighborhood twice now in the last week. So, pretty amazing. Alright, so breathe in. Find anything that's holding you down, anchoring you, keeping you from succeeding, or anything. Sorry. Just any of it. I guess I wasn't meant to give you words for it. Just anything that's holding you back. Blow it in the stick. And know that you can do this at home too. Just make sure you burn it in something safe. Nice, that came from deep in the heart. Ooh, shifting that energy. Alright, now last one. Nice deep breath in, blow it into the stick. Alright, let's give it to the fire. And let all that heavy energy transform into love and light. And if you want, take that now transmuted, transformed energy into the third eye. Into the throat. Let's put it in the throat because I know a lot of us have throat issues. Throat chakra issues. Bring it into your heart. Good, and bring it into your solar plex. Phew. I always am surprised how fast, how quickly this half hour goes. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to let this just burn a little bit more. It's a nice slow burn today. So it's really getting in there and burning things off. And please know how much I love and appreciate you all. There we go. So much love. And I hope that you receive everything that you choose. We'll see you next week, if not before.